We're going to be coming up a really nice area, passing Vasek on White Settlement Road, leading right into downtown. I believe this road will take you all the way to White Settlement. You just take it straight and keep on. I don't think so, though. Now I think you have to like kind of go around the base a little bit, because I'm familiar with White Settlement. I lived there with Sarah for a year or so, and then I lived there on my own for another year. And then I moved back there after Maine for another year, so I know the White Settlement. But this is like downtown Fort Worth from this angle right here. We'll be coming to, I don't know what you call this, a roundabout. The roundabout. If anybody's interested in Fort Worth, Texas, you probably want to watch the show. It's a neat little place. It's not exactly Austin. I guess if this was Austin, I might get a little more views. Probably not a whole lot more, but a little bit. I could do things like a whole series on Slacker locations, filming locations, Slacker. I hope I'm going the right way. Let me spin this way and see. I don't think I am. Hang on just a second. We almost did that. Linda cried. We were in Carrollton. We got 1,400. Well, I'm not turning in your lane. You're turning in mine and then honking. We got 1,400. They're big fans of the show. We got 1,400 from Biden. So Biden was in office. We got 1,400. I said, Linda, let's go to Austin, do Slacker location. She goes, what's that? There's a guy named Richard Linklater. He made a movie called Slacker. We can go to these different locations. I have it all online. Then we'll see parts of Austin, and it'll be a lot of fun. There's a restaurant there. One of the restaurants is run by the actress Bullock. Sandra Bullock. And she runs a restaurant there. Angel and I ate there. I said, let's go to Austin. We'll see Slacker filming locations. I'll show you around UT, Austin. Let's go. She started crying. I said, what's going on? No, I don't want to leave. Blah, blah, blah. Me. Okay. I said, okay. And so I got on Google and started looking around where movies in Dallas. And that's how I found Upstream Color, which is Shane Carruth. So I was like, okay, we can just do the Shane Carruth. And that's when we went to ICC. We have all that vlogged. It's a pretty good little filming location. I don't know how well it did because Slacker's way more popular. It's a popular movie compared to Shane Carruth's Upstream Color. Shane Carruth did Primer as a knockout science fiction time travel movie. My mind works too quick for my mouth at times. It's a time travel movie, Primer. Now, Upstream Color is not. That's about a pig and a worm and mind control. And she goes to a federal bank in Dallas to do a withdrawal for the ATM because she's under mind control drugs. And yeah, there's some drug mentioning in Upstream Color. And then, I found that on my own research, it was really cool. I did my own research on it and found that there was a federal bank, and I knew where it was, and it was the same one in the movie. So we found that ourselves. It wasn't, no one else discovered it. We discovered it. I did it through watching the movie and then pausing it and then seeing that said federal on it. I used to be a banker. So wait a minute, there can't be that many federal banks. There's not that many federal banks. There's Federal Bank Savings or something. So I can find that on Google. Well, it's been moved. It's no longer there. But nevertheless, they had an old address for it, which was the address we went to. Anyway, you gotta check it out. It's a filming location. This is where I want to shoot part of The Chosen One, if I get a chance to do The Chosen One. Water truck. The whole story about Shane Carruth and everything is kind of crazy. He's kind of a weirdo, for reals. But he made Primer on a little amount, like $7,000. I'll have to look it up on the budget on Primer. Primer was my favorite movie of that year when it came out, and it was a sci-fi movie about time travel, and they just knocked it out of the park. Younger actors, low budget. They used a like a U-Haul storage unit kind of thing. I don't know if it was U-Haul. They shot a lot of it in, I think, Plano. Maybe some of it. No, I think it was filmed in Plano. Maybe some of it was Las Colinas, and then I think then, you know, of course, Upstream Color was filmed in Las Colinas, Deep Ellum. It was filmed in Dallas. It's one you can do filming locations of if you want to check it out. It's a wild movie. I bought it so I could study it, and I could probably do more. There's some Deep Ellum shots, but they're so quick that it'd be very difficult to do a filming location of it, because the whole movie's done in a series of cuts. There's not a lot of long takes. There are some moments where there are long takes, but there's so many sequences for the filming locations where the cuts are like a few seconds long. So, you know, it's harder to identify. It's an artsy movie. It did well in Sundance and everything like that. So I think Upstream Color did probably a little bit financially better. I'd have to look at box office and the turnaround, but it was a good attempt. Shane Carruth has gotten quiet. Nothing's coming out. I think he got in like some kind of relationship problem with one of the ladies in Upstream Color. I don't know the exact details. I read an article on it. I didn't really go into that detail, but there was some kind of problem that he ran into. I don't know if they did it for the movie or if it was a real problem, or, you know, because, like, you know, look at Blair Witch, you know, that was all fake publicity. You never really knew. All right, Whitman, like Walt Whitman, or the Whitman guy that shot everybody in Austin, you know, from the tower. It's however you look at it. Let's see. If you go to Austin, there's a tower there in the middle of campus, a guy named Whitman. Sometimes I mispronounce it. I'll have to look it up. It's in Full Metal Jacket. They talk about it. I'm thinking maybe this one. I think this is this even. So that would be north or northwest. This, I can't even tell what that is. Or that right there. Or that right there. So that narrows it down to this one. Yep. Correcto mundo. Oh, they're all the way from Georgia. I do categorize the women. I wrote a book called Chin, and there's a catch-22 lady that's in it. That's Linda. Probably. But it's fiction, kind of, based on coronavirus. Anyway, I don't know if I go into the book. I need to go into a book one day where I talk about all the women and all the different, you know, aspects of them and how they are in the bedroom, and I might get detailed and things like that. Not too raunchy, not like Bukowski, but technical, and why this woman was better than that woman, and that might be a good thing. Not a Sex and the City thing, not for gossip, but for the sake for men to say, yeah, I can see why that woman would be ranked as number one and things like that. And I'm not gonna. Linda's way up there, and she's in a good situation. And then there's a professor out in Caltech, I don't know how to even say this, the school. It's a professor. She was an English professor out in Long Beach, way up there too. I'm not going to give the numbers yet. I'd have to write about it. But I want to set aside of all the because pleasure is a big part of the 3 Ps. They talk about the 3 Ps. The 1 P being pleasure, the other being the other one is procreation, because there's an order. There's pleasure, then there's the P, procreation, and then there's protection. So Angel gets a special award. That's my second wife. What do you mean by my second wife? And people are like, you have 2 wives? No. I had a wife, Sarah. She's my ex-wife, but still a wife. An ex-wife is still a wife. Sarah is my ex-wife. Angel is the complication thing, wife. Waze is just, what Waze will do is it'll beep over the word. It's almost like the word is beeping. That's what that's really doing there, because it wants me to go a certain way. Waze is like the devil kind of thing, but it's also telling me kind of, okay, that was a tip thing. But what I'm trying to say is this, okay? In the pleasure department, it all kind of, there's different, I'm not going to tell you how many, because, you know, I'll say when you read the book, Chin, Catch-22 is kind of a clue. But not at the same time. This is over a period of, since I lost my virginity at 16 all the way to pretty much like almost, 49, 48 is, anyway. So I've known Linda for 3 years. But the reason I'm saying this is because Angel gets special category because she met all 3 Ps. That's like big time bonus. That's a big deal to make all 3 Ps. None of the others did. So most of them made the 2 Ps. Yeah. They're always going to make the 2 Ps because the pleasure and the protection, it's going to be there in some way, especially, if you're not Catholic and you use protection. But that's not what it means. Protection means the woman protects you from the other cougar that might go out there and bite you on the joint and create a little welt in your tissue, because women can be cougars, So that's going to be there. So if the woman loves you, the woman looks out after you, you're going to get the pleasure, and then you're going to get the protection from the other woman. I know it's hard to make sense out of it. You're like, well, why would that be protecting you? Because it can get dangerous. You ever hear in Pink Floyd, it's an important band, the song, Mama, do you think they'll drop the bomb? Mama, do you think they'll like this song? Mama, do you think they'll try and break my balls? Eventually he says, Mama, do you think she's dangerous to me? Right? That's what he's talking about. That's why Pink Floyd is a great band. And the band starts with a P. So that other woman that she's protecting you from could be dangerous. I wrote a screenplay called The Projectionist, which is about that kind of danger. So women can be dangerous, okay? That's what the protection is. It's from the other one. It's in the Bible too. There's plenty of references to women being dangerous, or at least polluting the faith of the man. Now the woman is the helpmeet, to help meet under the eyes of God, to meet with God and have that spiritual aspect connected with God. They're to meet with you on that and to be a helper on your way. I always saw Hopeful as the woman in John Bunyan's Pilgrim's Progress. Now, when we did it, it was a man, because Hopeful is written as a man, but it's really a woman that is there to help the man through, all the way to the river. That's called the river of death. Part of the protection there. To protect you from the aspects of the world that's going to take you away from God. And you are to meet together so that you can be with God together and meet under His light, and under his love and his grace. You're to meet there, the help meet. So that's part of it. The 3 P's are part of it. Angel gets a 3. Not a 3 out of 10 or anything like that. But she met all the requirements, all 3 P's. Procreation. Well, pleasure, procreation, and the protection. She met that. And I have to admit, the others did not, regardless of the pleasure. And Angel probably knows these things because she's a theological kind of person, and also she studies psychology, and she's mixed the two because we do have needs as people. You see? So you have a wife out there that provided all 3. Now, let's say that the wife that you had all your life hasn't. Well, or something happened and you lost the baby or something. Of course, that baby will be in heaven, because once the child is conceived, that child is destined to go to heaven. Or that child becomes what is known as immortal, because we are all immortal. We all live forever, regardless of where we go. And remember, Jesus Christ can pull you out of hell. It may not say it in Scripture, but I believe it, and it's probably there. You lay your bed in hell, it says in the book, in the good book, and he will be there with you as you lay your bed in hell. It says it. Find it, look it up. He will be there with you in hell. God will be there with you. As long as you believe, he will guide you through. He will show you the map. He will show you how to get out. All that goes in with what he provides. God wants me to tell you these things and be clear. And Jesus Christ is Lord. That's the answer. There's one thing with this kid. He's standing in front of the church, very nervous, a little girl, like someone's daughter. 4 ways can interrupt. I gotta think about where I'm going. And the little girl, the little daughter, she's standing in front of the church. They ask her a very difficult question about math. You know, what's 9 divided by 3? Microphone goes to her mouth. I don't remember the math problem, and she answers Jesus, and the entire audience laughs because that's the answer. She didn't know the answer, but she knew to say Jesus, and that's pretty much how we enter into heaven. We don't know the answer on how to get there, but we know the name, and we know that name can open up the gates of heaven for us. That's why we do the Please Subscribe show. That's why I talk about Edmund. That's why I talk about the pets. All those things are unanswerable. Still don't know really where I'm going right now. I'm trying to think. What did I say? I said something about sushi. And all those things are unanswerable because we have these riddles that we go through every day in life. So, Jesus. On a diet, you go into Rangers, they got ballpark food. It's a 2-foot boomstick burger. It's just one of the few new delicacies waiting at Globe Life Field. Unbelievable. That's a burger.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you have a good one. I always say have a good one. Here's their hour. They got 100 reservation, so 100 people reserved. It looks like they're slammed for the night. Something I didn't know what it was for, but he was telling me about 100 people made a reservation. It's an incredible amount of people for one restaurant. Sometimes I think Jesus was sent by the Jews in red, white, and blue, an assassin for you. Don't know what to do. Anything for you. Anything anything for you. And sometimes I think Jesus was sent by the news of red, white, and blue. Don't know what to do, assassins for you. 'Cause anything's for you. Anything for you. I may come with like another lyric. I'll have to think about it though. I gotta look at it and I gotta like feel it, because it's one of those ones you gotta feel before you're gonna add another lyric. I've always considered like, when is the story gonna stop? You know, because we're at 1,650 something edited vlogs. Maybe 4 or 5, maybe 7 posts tonight. Sometimes 9 posts. Usually I don't go over 9 posts. And sometimes I other day, like not too long ago, I did 3 posts, which I was really proud of myself. And the answer is, I don't know. One of these days, I'm going to promise you soon, we're going to just focus on a 30-minute vlog only. I promise. It's coming up here soon. That means you only have to watch 30 minutes. If you're watching all of my stuff, I'm so sorry. But you know, I'm glad that you're watching. I'm glad that you're here. The road is beautiful. Look at the sky. The common grace is there. And you're free to pick up the Bible and read what you like and comment and have a conversation with me. I know I'm not like, this is the Jesus show, because I just say it's Cole Spivey and it's please subscribe show, because those are things that I need. You know, I need you to know me as Cole Spivey. I need you to know me, and then I need you to subscribe. You know me as my name, and then subscribe, of course. And then, you know, thank Jesus that you're here and you're able to watch it. I like to cuddle on the couch, cuddle up with Adam the Woo. Not personally with Adam the Woo. That I'm saying, you know, turn it on and watch Adam walk through Walt Disney World and get on the rides and eat hot dogs. It's fun. He invented a lot of that kind of thing. Not that people don't do that, but like the fact that it goes on YouTube. It's an experience, a certain type of experience vlog. I don't really watch him anymore because I've decided to branch out on my own. And I don't really plan to go to Florida. Now, if I go back to Florida, I'll probably subscribe. Or let's say if I go to Florida, then I'll definitely hit subscribe if he's still doing it. And I can always watch his old stuff. If he leaves it up there, you know. I do think that sometimes it does, because I'm craving a hot dog. And sometimes I do like, well, maybe I should eat my Adam the Woo hot dog today. Adam the Woo should sell a package of hot dogs called the Adam the Woo hot dogs. But really I shouldn't, because I'm on a diet. It takes time to go to the salad bar and dig in the salad bar. And then, you know, you need at least like a good hour or at least 45 minutes of going to the salad bar, getting what you need at the salad bar, sitting down, opening it up, eating the goodness of the salad bar. And that does take time. Like I ate 2 tacos earlier, which is 340 calories. And I'm feeling a little, you know, queasy. 340 calories is a lot, but it's not enough. And people try to do 2,000 calories, you know. And sometimes that extra hot dog gets you over that 2,000 calories. I have to go by the store today, and I'm going to get Edmund a couple of he has dry food. I'm going to give him some wet food, because he likes his wet food. He very upset this morning because he didn't get any. He got some last night. This morning he didn't get any. He was upset. He didn't knock over a lot of things. Usually he eats his wet food, then he knocks over a lot of stuff. And if I eat him chicken, he'll bite me. He'll actually come over and bite me if I feed him chicken. He will. And I don't know why. But anyway, we'll figure it out tonight. We'll figure it all out and see what we get on the calorie count. Yeah, I'll probably have to go to the next tier. Yeah. Always check the bottom ones. So this would be like a waste of climbing the stairs. They're from Arizona. All the way from Arizona. I was thinking about Arizona earlier today. Wonder what that flag is. It's blue in there. I know that's the one that the cop, maybe that's other first responders. What's the green though? The blue one is the cop one. Blue and black, I think, and the white. Yeah, this just looks like the right one. I don't know what that, it's like a different color flag thing. Yeah, it could be either or. These are saying even. Let me check. Howdy. I wonder if everything for you is different than anything. Yeah, because anything means something. Anything for you. Everything means like you want to get everything for them. Everything. Hey, so yeah, there's a difference between anything and everything. I think it's anything. Anything. Like you want to provide them what they need on anything. But for everything, that means you're trying to get them all. You know, you're trying to get everything for them. You know, they can't have everything, even though sometimes they want everything. Anything, everything for you. One sounds more extreme than the other to me. One sounds kind of psycho with everything. And then one sounds like, well, he's trying to do anything. Like a servant kind of thing. I don't know. I like the song. I mean, Jesus was the king of the Jews. So it's kind of, you know, that God was a servant, petty, hung out with the poor, hung out with prostitutes. He hung out with bad taxpayer people or whatever. Not taxpayer, I'm sorry. Sorry about that. Bad tax consultants. The tax man. Tax man. Tax man. The tax guy. They were accountants. They were the people that took your taxes. Or really what they were the people that collected your taxes. Tax collectors, yeah. The worst. Hey, let's go hang out with all the tax collectors. Maybe tomorrow. And that lady of the night, you know, Mary, maybe tomorrow. You know, that kind of thing. So he hung out with them, and then they go, there goes Jesus, hanging out with all the sinners. They all got tattoos, listening to punk rock music. They're eating hot dogs and talking about the Ramones. What in the world? Why are you hanging out with them, Jesus? He wouldn't even really, you know, he'd just walk out with them, you know, turn the other cheek kind of thing. So he could teach them. And then they learned from him, and those were his best students. I don't know, you know, I need to know all the 12 disciples to really teach this thing. Because you got, you know, like, I think Simon was one of them, you know, and then you've got, you know, of course, you've got Mark, and you've got, Matthew. You got, Luke only heard about it, so Luke was a witness. You know them all. There's two Simons, there's a Judas, Malahu, what is it? Bart, we just call him Bart. Nobody talks about him. What did he do? They all had occupations. Was one a joiner? Bartholomew. And, you know, they're just mentioned in passing. These are the guys. Now, of course, I'll later talk about Peter, because Peter will be the rock. That's what he looked at Peter and said, you know, you are the rock, Peter. Peter's like, what's going on? I'm just trying to fish. You know, Peter was like, who are you, dude? Just chill out, you know? You're going to be the rock of my church. It's like, I just fish. I'm out there fishing. So he saw what he did, and he said, that's the rock of the church. He's bringing in the fish. Those fishermen, the most dangerous job you can have. It's a very dangerous job to be a fisherman. Probably back then it wasn't too safe either. These are all Jewish guys mostly, but Luke was the one that heard about it, and Luke was the Protestant. No, he wasn't a Protestant. He was the Gentile. But they were mostly all Jewish guys, and he, you know, he chose them for what they were doing. Tax collectors were chosen. You all know, the theology guys, they know. But he was like, you're going to hang out with me for a while. And they're like, you're walking around with a freaking prostitute. You know? Sorry, just let me get things, you know, let me get the things clear here. He's like, first of all, she's a woman of the night. Call her that. That's what it says so in the Bible. She's a woman of the night. And she's just had a shaky past. She's okay now. She's clean. Follow me. You know, John Bunyan said that none of us are really clean. He was kind of quoting Christ in the fact that none of us are pure of sin. None of us are, John Bunyan was talking about, you know, none of us are purely clean and holy in spirit, pure. No, he was saying we're dirty. We're not like this pure thing like Jesus was. We try to be. We try to come off, and that's called self-righteousness, and it stinks. Or being smug. Kind of thing for you. But Jesus was that way, you know. I mean, Jesus wasn't smug. Well, he got attitude, though. He popped some attitude. Turned over the tax collector, or the traders, the balancing tables. Like, basically went to a bank, took all the money and just threw it all up in the air, right? Because they set up the bank right in front of the church. It was basically, you went through the bank to get to the church. He's like, this ain't set up right, people. Money going flying everywhere, so they can't keep track of that money. They don't know who it belongs to. They lose that money. He became famous that day. Jesus became famous for turning over the tables. The tables he turned over. That was the money tables. And the money went flying, and he became famous. And Mary was like, oh no. Because Mary hung out with him. And he was like, oh no, oh dear. This isn't good. Jews didn't like it. Romans found out about it. What is he saying? He's saying what he's saying. He's God? Oh, really? Well, we'll get to that. What about Caesar, which is treason? Can't say you're God because there Caesar was God. So they went after him, and then that's when it all began. And they went on the run. And then he was basically preaching. He was like, you know, anything for you. I'm a servant. I'm going to kiss your feet, or I'm going to wash your feet, and I'm this little servant guy. I'm God. You know, that kind of thing. He said these things, and they judged him, which is bad. He said, do not judge, basically, without you being judged, you know. But he was saying, don't judge people, is what he was really saying. Like, just don't judge people. Turn the other cheek.